but you know, he's only got about 2 minutes left now on his clock. So g5, but just g4. The last thing he wants is this rook on the 7th rank and his king on the 1st rank. But this is what happened now. He didn't play g4. He let me play g4. So I've got an interesting plan now, just to sack the h7 pawn if necessary to gain a tempo, just to get my king in. So my king's getting ultra aggressive now, and my rook is ultra aggressive on the 2nd rank. So I just offer the h7 pawn. I just play king e4. So this is getting now to be a technically winning position. So I win this pawn, and now I squeeze my g pawn and also cut his king off from the f file. Squeeze a bit more with my pawn to get it to the 2nd row, ready to land. Landing gear in place. Now I just need to build the bridge, the Cerner position, which Majnu's done a video on. So I wonder if you can spot the idea here. How does black avoid all the perpetual checks? So just in case you don't know this, so say this, you know, how do you avoid the checks? Looks impossible to avoid the checks, doesn't it? Yeah, so how would you queen? Well, if we go back, there's a little trick move you play here. I think 2 moves will do, well, or maybe more. In fact, in this position with the king here, I don't think anything clever is needed. Just rook h7 is winning, actually. Nothing clever is needed, because in this position, just king h1 or king h2. And if the king moves, then check and then queen. So nothing actually clever is needed, but sometimes something might be clever in similar positions. I played rook e4, but also rook e5 is fine. So rook e4 has the idea that the king and rook are going to build a bridge for the pawn to avoid the perpetuals. So I think he played rook g7. This is a bit of reconstruction here, but this is essentially what happened. Check, check, and now rook g4. So the point of the rook move is revealed, that the king is going to be shielded now with that rook. And then he resigned. So it was a dramatic game. I missed delivering the killer punches earlier on. I shouldn't have really got away with this concept of rook a5. He really maximised the benefit of rook a5, the way he played it, by not taking on c6. So let's go to that position. Well, okay, let's step through this again. As instead of speaking ahead of the events, let's go back here. He lost the tempo on the knight c6 French by playing d4, taking 2 moves to play d4. I'm fine with this undermining at the head of the pawn chain. F-file compensation, ready to play e5, ready for f-file pressure. So there's 2 aspects here, the backward pawn to worry about, or to take opportunity with the f-file. So that's in balance. Which idea? I had initially the idea of a5, a4 and e5 here, so I pursued that one, but it's not strictly necessary. Castles and queen g6 is also dangerous to celebrate the f-file pressure. So that's the instructive point here, I think. So e5, it's giving the opportunity to fight to get back into the game if you played bishop c6. But no, in this position though, rook a5 is dubious again, bishop c6. But he wasn't willing to give up his light square bishop, and now I'm back in with a very good game, winning a pawn straight away in the opening, and it could have led to a really crushing attack now, because he is technically weakening his king position even more now, after already being slightly weaker, losing that h2 pawn. So rook g4 here needs some guts and calculation to play, and I didn't have maybe either the guts or the calculation. I was probably a bit too tired for this game. So it's inviting a skewer, but as we saw with that maze of variations, the skewer doesn't quite work because of rook g2s. If something else, bishop e4 though, then it's a different story. He doesn't have to lose that quickly maybe, but it starts to get a bit unpleasant here for white in this continuation. With rook e8, there's a lot of pressure to deal with. Say bishop f3, bishop g4. Look at this light square pressure. It's pretty bad, and potential pressure on g3. So anyway, this didn't happen. I played the tame rook g3, and I start to get a worse and worse position until white's getting the advantage back as well as his pawn back when he eventually plays b4 and rook takes a3. And then I'm on the brink of a total tactical disaster now, when he doesn't sort of casually invade with his rook here first. Instead he plays bishop g4 straight away. And in this position white is much better, but he didn't need to throw in the check. He could have just taken on h3 with a decisive advantage. So he threw in the check, which gave me the opportunity to be a bishop down, but actually technically better because of d3, and these pawns are really quite dangerous. So we reach a position where I can get my bishop back when he countersacks his bishop. We reach this king and pawn inning, which he totally messes up because he lets his king become totally restricted, and my king just walked to a very aggressive position. So still being a pawn up, but my king and rook optimal, and then I have an easy winning position here, which I can even win with rook h7. I don't even need to build a bridge in a clever way, but I do that anyway. So build the bridge, and then he resigned. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's some instructive points in there. Sometimes the need for accuracy is the need to deliver a winning punch instead of preparing more punches. But anyway, comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.